Today we talked about Vegas, catching turtles, and how language changes based on the context of the situation. Are you lawful good? Are you chaotic evil? Maybe you're just a no-salvo kid. Let us know on our Instagram or at our website, tiltednotstirred.com. I like turtles.
Hello, my name is Edwin.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Frantic.
And together we are Tilted, Not Stirred. So what has you guys feeling tilted today? What's going on, guys?
I've been big chilling. I've recently become unemployed
Hell
by
yeah.
choice. Make that distinction. And on Thursday, I took a certification exam and I passed. Shout outs to me.
Whoop whoop.
And
Dude, that's sick, man. So how many more? What else do you need? Are you ready?
I mean, I can start applying for jobs now. The next cert isn't as important. It's just a good cert to have. Like
Okay.
it's a better cert than the one I just got.
Do it.
So yeah,
That's what.
I'm nervous about that one.
I read an article the other day about. I can't remember the exact number. It was like over 4 million Americans quit their jobs in September or some shit like that. Yeah, you guys
no
hear
one wants
about
to work
that?
anymore, man.
That's crazy.
No
Yeah,
one
I don't
wants to
know what
work.
the hell's going on.
I keep hearing that no one wants to work. How the fuck are people doing stuff?
I don't know, dude.
It's no one wants to work at like the shitty jobs anymore, right? No one wants to work in retail. No one wants to work in the food industry. The
These
quote
pizzas-
unquote city jobs.
These
They're
pizzas
shitty.
ain't gonna deliver themselves.
But no
alright?
one wants to do it. That's the issue. No one wants to work at
Bro.
warehouses, factories.
Didn't I say this in like one of the earlier podcasts that I said, I hope we don't forget how much of like heroes these people were like in the pandemic. Like I hope that we don't go from, hey man, it's great you guys are working at a restaurant because you guys get to feed like all these people and all this stuff. You're helping people out. And you're such a hero for being out there, being like, you know, like putting yourself on the line like that. And now we're just back to calling it shitty jobs and, you know, no
Yeah.
respect.
It was always a shitty job. It was just you were respected for doing the shitty job.
Dude, I never got no fucking hero pay. What the fuck?
The hero pay for me lasted like a month, and it was the month I didn't show up.
I worked at Amazon during that hero pay.
Nah, I was straight chilling. They said if y'all don't feel comfortable working, you don't have to show up. I was like, say less.
You're like, bad.
Bet. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked up the article real quick right now, and so it says here that one of the reasons might be because people feel very comfortable that they can find a new job, and they're sitting on an unprecedented amount of savings.
Oh,
So I'm assuming this might be the people that were able to keep their jobs during the pandemic and
Working
also
from
receive
home.
stimmies on
yeah,
top of
getting
it.
Stimmies.
And so right now they're kind of big chilling, which I mean,
Hey, more power to them.
yeah, I mean, they held on to it. You're supposed to spend it, but I'd be stimulating all the restaurants around my area. I've been eating good.
Same, vato.
Yeah, I need to lose some of this weight.
Same.
So so this weekend I went to Vegas, right? And this is like the very, very rare family trip. And they said, let's go to Vegas. And I almost didn't fit in the clothes that I took. So
Damn,
on one of the nights, I took a button up and some chinos. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. You know, I'll put these on. I could not stretch out my arms for fear that the button might pop.
Might hit somebody in the eye.
Yeah.
It was a lot of drinking and eating the night before. I think that caused some of the bloating. But I was just like, holy shit.
totally
This was almost a tragedy.
Definitely not snorting that copium.
Oh god. But dude, Vegas was lit. And I'm really glad we went this past weekend versus the weekend prior, cuz the weekend prior was the Canelo fight and apparently like Vegas was popping. So this one was a lot more chill. And I was up, boys. I was up. I was feeling good, and then in the end,
You lost.
I bet all my profits. I said, you know what? Let's see if we can turn this into something. Nope.
Did you
So,
double down on
I
black?
I didn't come out a winner, but I did not come out a loser, and I think that's winning when you go to Vegas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. I know my brother listens to this podcast, and I'm not gonna divulge how much he lost, but he should definitely get better at blackjack.
It's a system, dude. Blackjack has the best odds in the house when you're playing the correct way. And it's
Well,
actually really easy to learn.
I still have not touched blackjack for fear that I will become addicted.
Yeah, you probably will.
But I think
But it's definitely the best odds.
after this last trip to Vegas, I think I have finally decided I'm gonna try blackjack.
Don't do it, man. This is not one
Bro,
of these
it's
things
easy,
that.
man.
It's
Always,
easy money.
always split eights.
Oh my god.
You know, if the dealer has a bus card, you stand.
If they have a 6, you double. It's like so easy. So easy.
Mm.
Yeah, because
Well,
if they flip a face, they're
It
forced to.
Yeah, but it depends on what you
Yeah.
have.
Oh well, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. If you have a higher than a 6, then you double.
Yeah. If you have an 11,
Yeah.
you double.
There it is.
Yeah. If your hand is
Um,
6'5", you got to double down every time.
Well, yeah, I averaged 3 hours of sleep. I don't know how the hell I survived, but Vegas was great. And
Vegas
I,
is pretty fun.
and
not
I
gonna
came
lie.
home on Sunday, watched the Formula race,
I
and
played
it
New
was
World.
pretty
I saw
fucking
you
insane.
Exposed.
And I actually got 8 hours of sleep last night, so that is a personal best for the year, probably. Getting the full 8 hours. I feel
mean,
awake. I'm alert. It's kind of weird.
Since New World came out, I don't think you've been sleeping, bro.
Not much. Not much. What about you, Edwin? Enough about me.
I've just been working with them sexy trees, you know. Just recently we had a project that like involved catching crayfish and turtles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The turtles we had to mark because you know the turtles are cute and shit, but the crayfish we had to exterminate.
They were going cray, so you gotta fuck them up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So that shit was cray. Like imagine catching something just to like, you know, just squish it, give it a little crunch. It was pretty fun.
You're a murderer.
Yeah, there you go, people. It's pretty fun. Killing a species.
Well, I mean,
Invasive,
if they're
I imagine,
invasive,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're invasive. So
Okay.
a lot of natural resource positions deal with taking care of invasive species, and by taking care, you know what it is.
By sending them upstate.
Yeah, that's what we used
Yeah.
to call it.
Take them back in
To
the
a
back
farm.
of the
Yeah.
yeah. Take them in the back of the barn. Tell them to look at the pretty flowers and do the thing. But catching turtles was pretty fun. You know, we went out there and one of my coworkers took out bacon. He was just like,
Bacon.
yeah, early in the morning. He
You're
brought.
like,
he,
why,
and I was
yes, I'd
like-
love some.
yeah, I was like,
Did you bring
oh
enough for the
shit.
whole class?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, we eating good today. And then he's like, no, we're using this to fish. And I was like, that's perfectly good bacon, dude. But it worked out. We caught some turtles right away, and it was pretty cool. But aside from that, just been bike riding, trying to justify my purchase, trying to bring that cost per ride down.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I'm still really happy for you on that bike.
Oh man, I'm having a blast. Yeah.
I hope it lasts you for a while because I can't imagine bike repairs are cheap.
I mean, once you have it, it's what it is. I mean, it's right next to me.
Mhm.
Once you have it, it's cheap. It's cheaper to upkeep than the first initial purchase.
Oh yeah,
you know?
okay. Yeah, I see that.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, if nothing else, guess we'll move on to some stories for the week. I guess I can open up with the whole Travis Scott update with the Astro World thing. Last I heard, there was over 100 lawsuits already filed, so that's gonna be fun. And I don't know if you guys heard about the 9-year-old. So there's a 9-year-old at the at the concert that just died this Sunday, which was yesterday. Yeah, he passed away at the Children's Hospital in Houston. Unfortunate, and they're suing for at least $1 million. So I don't know. I'm still kind of like, who can you sue for something like this? I wonder how their defense is and the prosecution is gonna go out.
This is not the first time he's incited, violence in the crowd. So
it's just that these concerts aren't intended for children, so I wonder how much of that's going to be used on the defensive side. Like, this is more of a case of parent negligence, perhaps.
But at the same time, I don't know. This dude's like corrupt with power. This dude gets off of like seeing his crowd act out like this. Like, this is multiple times already.
He does have a history, so I think that's going to be used against him for sure. Yeah, and the other story is a lot less sad, but I kind of just wanted to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. You guys think that Elon Musk tweets way too much?
I don't think it matters.
Because
I don't own shares in Tesla, so I don't care.
But inevitably, whatever happens with Tesla kind of affects the market.
Didn't he already lose a position in his company? Like, didn't they already vote him out?
I don't think so.
No? I thought they did.
I don't know. I don't know how they can do that. But anyways, he basically sold a shit ton of stock. He asked Twitter, like, hey, should I, like, what was the thing, Jeff? Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, he posted on Twitter, should I sell 10%, I think it was 10%, of my total shares of Tesla? Yes or no? I will do whatever the poll says. And they voted yes, so the next day he sold the shares, which probably on Monday of last week. I don't remember when it was.
He sold it on Friday.
Oh,
yeah. He sold it on Friday, but he still holds 166 million shares of Tesla, which is, I mean, he's one of the richest guys on earth. I just wonder if he's borderline getting to that, like tweeting too much, because anything he says, it swings the market.
I mean, it literally just swings Tesla. And
I
crypto.
mean, it's just, yeah, exactly, and those are some of the biggest things.
I mean, if people think Tesla's a scam, so if the value of these stocks fluctuates so much on the word of one person, you probably shouldn't be trading in those stocks.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take.
Yeah. Well, people don't make the smartest decisions. So
hey, that's
thing.
On them, man.
Yeah, there's winners and losers. And that's why we need people delivering those pizzas. So get back to work. If you're listening to this and you're not working, get back to work. We need those pizzas.
Only if you're holding the Tesla bag or the GameStop bag. If you're that guy who bought GameStop at $650, you should probably
get back to work.
Yeah, you should probably get back to work.
Get back to work.
Get back to work, you hero.
I always find it really annoying when people like defend like millionaires and billionaires online.
Oh yeah.
So I can't really justify a lot of the stuff that goes down on like Elon Musk's Twitter and all that kind of shit. But on the flip side of that, the working class people that they want to be rich, right? And they want to live this kind of lifestyle, but they're not producing anything. So like a few episodes back, I talked about how the young generation more and more wants to become like YouTube creators,
right,
and all these other kind of stuff. What do they bring to society?
Entertainment, just like anything else. Just like a sport, like a soccer player, a basketball player, entertainment.
So if we have more and more entertainers, who's still doing like the bottom jobs?
The ones that couldn't make it as an entertainer.
Yeah, and this has been an issue. Well, not an issue, but a thing to ponder upon from the beginning of time. I mean, from the very beginning, you had artists that put on plays, that tell you stories, that entertain people, you know, and those people were put in a pedestal, and it was always begged the question, like, why do they deserve so much when people toil the lands to give you the food that you eat? You know, why is it that we assign that value to people that entertain us? And, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely something to think about. That someone who's not producing a whole lot, like survival type of stuff, like very baseline things that you need to survive, makes tens of thousands of more money than someone who's out there toiling the fields.
Yeah, I mean, we keep thinking like this. We're gonna turn into a communist podcast, so we shouldn't.
I'm not saying equalize the pay. I'm saying more of like people need to.
What he's saying is we need to seize the means of production.
Oh. Yes, that's okay. Fuck it. I've been outed. I'm a communist.
There you go. Exposed.
Exposed.
Imagine.
Shit.
Damn. All right. Anyways, damn, that's crazy.
So what's up? What's the topic for today?
All right. So I watched Narcos season 3. And for those who don't know, it's a show on Netflix. It's more or less the history of the drug cartels in Mexico, obviously with a lot of dramatization to make it a watchable television show. And after watching it, I just grew a better respect for Spanish as a language and how awful English sounds in contrast to it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about languages as a whole, and things. Have
they come out with shows yet that doesn't depict the Latin American community as narcos?
Either narcos,
any telenovela,
gangsters, rancheros.
Yeah, I guess that's not as interesting, huh? That a lot of them are just normal people.
I mean, they glorified him pretty much. They were like, oh, they were talking about Amado Carrillo, and they were like, oh, he's like the biggest narco in the world, like of all time. And they were like, there was a scene where he was talking to one of the Colombian guys, one of the main Colombian dudes, and the guy, he's like, man, we used to talk shit on Mexico all the time. You were the laughing stock, and now you're our boss. And it's like, yeah, that's, I had my future straight, and that was the line or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I had a vision, I think is what he said.
I'm not a fan of. I mean, actually, I like Breaking Bad, but the glorification of like crime, it's been happening forever. You got your mafia movies. Everybody loves those.
Mm-hmm.
You have your cartel stuff and like corridos. You got like music idolizing that lifestyle and stuff. And I never jived with it. I still kind of don't. But I could see where the appeal is on like that kind of thing. The danger, the money.
You gotta get rich or die trying, man. 50 Cent.
Hell yeah.
Get rich, die trying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But on the topic of language though, and Spanish, all three we're bilingual here and we speak Spanish, and so we kind of know the beauties of Spanish. So one of my favorite things about Spanish is the terms of endearment. They just sound so much better. Like in English, you can tell someone that you like them or you love them. And in Spanish, you have like all the different ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can tell somebody te quiero, or like all those, right? So like there's like love is such a strong word, and like is kind of corny. Like I like you. It's like you're not gonna tell someone I like you all the time. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's your favorite part about Spanish?
For me, it's a lot more impactful. Whenever I hear someone like curse in Spanish, I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah, it has more oomph to it, right?
Yeah, it's fucking, like, ooh, why you so mad, or what the fuck, But in English, I just cursed. What the fuck? I just said all this bullshit.
Someone calls you a bitch in English, and you're like, cool. And then
Yeah.
if somebody says it in Spanish, you're like,
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, dude.
did your parents not teach you better?
My favorite word is stupid.
Oh
It's
no!
stupido?
Don't say it.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Eres un estúpido. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Oh,
That
shit.
stings.
It is an estúpido.
Yeah, that just stings.
Damn, that's dirty.
I mean, for English, another thing that, like, for Latin languages, everything has kind of like a root, and it follows a format, But in English, all bets are off. You have words that sound the same.
Words that are spelled the same but are pronounced different.
Yeah, like all bets are off. So it's kind of different. It's kind of difficult to be a Latin language speaker, whatever your language is, and then try to put together English sentences, because they really don't make any fucking sense, And it's pretty eye-opening when you start learning a new language, to see your own discrepancies in English,
Mm-hmm.
I fucked around with French for a long time. I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but it follows the same basic structure as Spanish. So,
It should be obvious because it's a Latin language.
Yeah, it's a Latin language, and it follows the same basic structure. So,
Yeah, and then I tried learning some Korean, and let me tell you, that shit is difícil. That shit was difficult, dude. It's a completely different syntax and like sentence structure that like my brain doesn't think that way, and so it's just it was too difficult for me, and honestly, I didn't give it as much time as I should have. There was moments where I was listening to like podcasts, and I had like my workbook and all that, and I was working through it every day, and I was picking it up. But then the moment that I stopped for like a week, I stopped for 2, then I stopped for 3, and then it just kind of got out of it. Jeff, do you have a third language under your belt?
I'm fluent in Klingon and
In
Dothraki. Nah. Nah, I mean, for the most part, it's just English and Spanish. I haven't really I haven't tried to learn any other languages.
Well, you're not interested?
I would like to learn, maybe, I don't know, Italian.
Italian?
This is a good one. It just sounds nice. And you can talk with your hands in Italian. That's what I like.
Yes, of course.
Italian does sound nice, though, for sure. You're talking, and it just sounds super nice. A lot of words that we use in Spanish as well are seen as like hardcore English words.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I can't think of any.
Of any what?
Of any of these words that are like super common in Spanish, and then they're like, they're your $1 SAT words in English. But I totally forgot.
$1 SAT words.
Yeah. But
you lost me.
I totally lost that train of thought too. Scrap that. So
I went to Utah, right, a couple years back, and there was so many foreigners in like all the Grand Canyon, Zion National Park, like all that area, right? And I think it was there's like this one part where it's like a horseshoe. I think that's what it's called, a horseshoe bend or some shit. Anyways, there was a group of people talking, and it was like the nicest. When I first listened to it, I'm like, this is the nicest Spanish I've ever heard. And it turns out they were speaking Italian. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, I mean, they were like beautiful people too, right? It was like 2 couples, and I was just like, wow. Like, am I gonna put Italy on a pedestal now? Because in terms of European, like the rankings, I I have Italians now very highly because I was very impressed with my first impressions of Italian people in person. And then at the very bottom, I have the French.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
so I'm just like,
Deservedly so.
yeah.
I'm a French weeb, but even then, French people really don't like Americans. Even when there's a lot of like language stuff where you try to speak a language of a certain like culture, and they're like, if they hear it from you and you don't speak it, they're like, oh yeah, come, we'll teach you.
Mhm.
French people straight up tell you like,
What the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I speak English, asshole. Let's do this. You know?
Yeah, fuck you
Like,
too, homie. We saved your ass in World War II. Gave up in a week.
let's not do that.
Oh, this isn't a shit on the French episode?
Nah.
Damn.
It can be. They don't shower, dude. They shit on themselves.
They smoke too much.
They smoke too much.
Yeah, they
What the
do.
fuck? All right. This is
They actually, you know,
let's
speaking of smoking, though, when I went to Korea, the amount of smoking that went down was insane. And it's like such a important thing of life there for people to just smoke. And here in the US, especially in California, you don't see a whole lot of people smoking. And then when you do experience someone smoking, you immediately give this look of like, what the fuck is this person doing? Polluting my air.
in
Right.
California. In California, yeah. Motherfuckers in Arizona smoking diners. I was so
Yeah.
offended. I've never been so offended in my life. Where I was like, I'm trying to eat, and this motherfucker is over here smoking.
yeah.
like,
So the rest of the world smokes a shit ton still. I don't know if I imagine maybe in Canada they don't smoke as much. I don't know. Maybe this is just me stereotyping. I
They're
feel like
so nice.
I feel like Canadians are nicer, and they would be so nice that they wouldn't smoke in fear that they would disrespect the person next to them. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to pollute your air, good sir. They spray Febreze instead.
Yeah, they walk around with fucking
Breeze.
with
Febreze.
Febreze, just. Oh man, what do you guys think about code switching? So, like, just to preface this a little bit, so code switching is basically, well, it could be the way I interpret it in two different ways. One is obviously just within the same conversation, using various languages, and the other way that I view code switching is also depending on who you talk with, you'll talk in a different manner. And so, on the first part, do you guys find yourselves having different personalities with the different languages, and does that affect the way you talk to folks?
Huh. I don't think my personality changes depending on what language I'm speaking. If that's the question you're asking. Maybe I'm more quiet in Spanish, but that's just because I don't speak it as well. So I'm
a lot more methodical in Spanish,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm just like whatever. I'm not gonna make an ass of myself, so I'm just gonna pick my words carefully here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Go ahead, Brandon.
I just think that like depending on the context of like how you picked up the language, I think that has a lot to do with the way you speak it, right? Because I tried to learn a little bit of German, and that was like in the context of a classroom. And so if I ever, I mean, I totally forgot it now, but if I ever did speak German,
It would have been proper.
it would have probably been like a way that nobody even talks anymore because it's from a textbook. And
Well,
so
my
people
Spanish
probably
isn't
look at me
Mexican.
funny.
My Spanish isn't Mexican.
Do you say
like,
vos and vosotros?
no, I just don't like. I
Do you call it
don't curse.
España?
España.
España.
No, español. You see, vos habla español. But you know the traditional sense in like, add. I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like I'm being fucking weird or condescending or racist, but it's like
We already know you are, Edwin. It's cool.
okay, all right, fine. You know how
alright.
them You know how the Mexicans add. I'm just
Hold
kidding.
up.
we're all Mexican here. No, but like, adding like curse words like pinche, whatever this,
That was my favorite part of Narcos, dude. Man,
I'm
"Ala
not-
pinche madre."
I'm not about that. Like,
And it's just like
Well, it's like
it's
it's
super
just
laid
like in
back.
English when you
It's
say
casual,
fucking. When
yeah.
you're just talking, you're just say that fucking thing, that fucking this, fucking that. It's the same thing.
Pinche. Yeah, I don't say it in Spanish for some reason. I'm weird and proper in Spanish.
Because your
It's
mom will give you a pow pow when you're a kid.
because
if you
she
talk like
understood. That's actually that might be it.
Yeah,
She
there you
actually
go.
understood what I was saying.
She doesn't understand it in English, so she doesn't like fucking slap you across the mouth. Oh.
That might be it. That might be it. We've solved why I don't curse in Spanish.
I mean, yeah, I'm the same way. I don't curse in Spanish because I mean my parents taught me Spanish, so I didn't learn the words till much later in life.
Yeah. You guys kind of well, Edwin mentioned a little bit about like being racist. So I kind of want to touch on, you think code switching could be racist?
How so?
So like, let's say
Tread
that,
carefully.
no, I don't need to tread carefully. These are all things that people do subconsciously.
Yeah.
So let's say you walk up to a black person and then you start using more slang with that black person. Maybe that's just your friendship with that person. Y'all are just cool. So it's nice, y'all just vibe that way. But do you think that code switching could be a sign? Not of racism, but of like you code switch depending on the race. Maybe to a white person, you might talk to them a different way than to a black person, for example.
So like if I go up to a white person, I'm like, so Jeremy, I was thinking about filing my taxes yesterday, and
While I was eating my mayonnaise sandwich.
Oh, gee whiz, Edwin, it's not even tax day, buddy. You sure?
gee whiz,
Gee whiz.
who the fuck?
Gee willikers.
I don't know.
Do you guys code switch at all then? But depending on the race? It ain't racist, all right? Y'all are colored people. You guys can admit to this.
Maybe at work is the only time where I speak different, but that's just because I don't know if they're talking like in slang and shit, it just kind of rubs off on you. Yeah.
Oh,
So if they're just speaking with a lesser
Okay.
vocabulary, then I don't feel the need to have to speak with such a high vocabulary. I'm just like, all right, fuck it, I can dumb down my language.
so you kind of have. Oh, damn, you're saying you have to dumb down your language when you talk to black people? That's crazy.
I said people at work.
I'm
homie.
just kidding.
Why you
dude,
putting
chill.
words in my mouth,
I'm just
bro?
kidding.
Damn,
Damn, you're saying people at Amazon are dumb. That's crazy.
I mean, some are.
Nah, just kidding. No, well, like, so what you're saying is that you kind of have a baseline of the way you talk to everyone, and then depending on how they talk back to you, you're able to
I can make
go
adjustments.
up or down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know. I like making the person that I'm talking to feel comfortable. So if I'm over here, speaking different, saying completely different words than them, it's like, oh, I look like an asshole.
It's like, damn, Jeff, I had these carne asada fries, dude. They were bussin'. And
Aw,
you're like,
God?
yes.
Sheesh.
You're like, yes. Carne asada fries are quaint. They're quite all right.
Yes.
Quite exquisite.
I fancy
you know?
them.
Oh man.
I don't
yeah,
What
I
about
mean,
you, Edwin?
like Jeff says, you got to match the energy, man. You got to pass the
Yeah.
vibe checks on the daily, And if you're out here being a Poindexter to people who really don't want that, then honestly, I mean, I've had the opposite where people talk to me and I talk to them back, and they're like, "Oh, like you're so eloquent," and that's the shit I don't like. Bang bang. But when
Bang, bang.
yeah, like I remember having conversations with professors and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're so eloquent," as if shocked that I spoke differently, that
You
I
talk
didn't,
like a white guy.
that I didn't conform to the notion of what they had in their head, and now I actually have a more slang approach to having a daily conversation. And I feel like more relaxed on that sense. But when it comes to like an academic, professional work setting, you have to have the way you speak, be a reflection of who you are, in that setting.
So
Well,
then for you, it might be more about the context of the setting rather than the person.
Yeah, it honestly is the setting of. I mean, at work right now, I've been I've been trying to manage the slang and stuff because I'm trying to be me while at the same time trying to like help somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and I sometimes when slang kind of slurs words or something like a something, something like that. You just slur a word when in
Mm-hmm.
reality you can't do that, and so yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, language changes so drastically depending on what becomes okay to adopt. I mean, like the Creole people would always say bad, oh, that's so bad, as in like that's good, and
Nobody,
badass.
dude, what the hell? Nobody says that's so bad like that.
No, like that's bad, that's ill,
Yo, that
that's
shit is
badass,
bad.
that's
Oh, she
badass.
bad. She
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, that
The
kind of
way that
stuff.
you said it the first time, Edwin was
I
just like,
mean,
"Oh, that's bad." It's just
no,
like nobody
no, no.
fucking says it
Your
that
tone
way.
is
No,
off, Edwin.
my
Come
tone
on,
was
dude.
definitely off. It's fucking midnight, bro. Day, goddamn, But yeah, stuff like that. Like it changes with time. And
Do you
like,
think that because you speak eloquent, Edwin? Do you think that
I don't.
you've kind of been other people to code switch to you? Because this is something that is very hard to feel. Like if somebody's changing because of you versus you're changing for that person.
Yeah, I've had it a lot with friends. Where they talk to me normally, and then they talk to somebody else, and they act the fool, and I'm like, oh, cool, cool, cool. Like that's cool. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I can act the fool too, and then I try and I fucking fail. But yeah. It gets real awkward, especially if you're not.
Because the way you say I can act a fool too.
I
Maybe that's why.
Hi.
Indubitably, I can act a fool. Hold the mayo on my sandwich this time, please.
I can act like an ignoramus as well. Yeah, it's one of those things that
You know what? I'm going with the medium sauce this time.
Yeah, I don't know. These kind of things, we all kind of like. We're talking about personalities and all that stuff, and I was telling Jeff that I subscribe to the notion that everybody has a personality that caters to who they are around. We're getting away from like language itself, but going towards like a personality that changes depending on who you are with. And I'm obviously not gonna be who I am with you guys, with my coworkers or stuff like that. We say some horrible shit. We just really do as jokes. It makes us laugh, and that kind of stuff doesn't really vibe with like everyone else.
Strangers, yeah.
So it's one of those things.
Yeah, that's actually something that I was gonna say. That my code switching is mostly just on the jokes and how much of my actual opinion I give on things. Because I'm a very opinionated person, and my opinions aren't always the most popular. So I try not to voice them when it's unnecessary for the conversation. Because I find that shit annoying when other people, like, I hold myself back in like social settings, and then when somebody brings shit up, I'm just like, oh my god, here we go. Like, y'all, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. It's just that's just kind of how society is now, and I think it's very important to distinguish that like code switching isn't really you being fake. It's more of you just taking your personality and molding it slightly to have like a better outcome in the situation that you're in, but not in a way that's not genuine to yourself. I think it's once it gets to the point where you as a person have your morals and then you kind of deviate from them depending on the person you're talking to, that's when it's fake, right? So like if you're honest to goodness person and you're like always fair about things, and then you have a group of people you hang out with that you're like, I don't know, let's say committing some crimes. That could be kind of blurry where it's just like, well then which one are you, right? Are you the good, like the lawful good person, or are you the chaotic evil person? I think that's where the code switching might be. I don't know. Am I making sense here?
Yes.
Can you be both good and bad like that? And be genuine?
Only if bad means good in this situation.
I think
You know?
No, I'm saying bad as in bad.
If you're
bad,
having
like,
that
not
big
good.
of swings, then you're obviously leaning more towards the other end. If that, in my opinion, I would think that if you're doing good by day but being a shitty human being by night, then you're just a shitty human being.
Masquerading as a good person by day, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're saying the bad stuff will like
It will always outweigh the good.
define you a little bit more
Yeah.
than the good stuff.
Yeah. You can build a hospital for starving children, but be a kingpin that
A
slaughters his
pedophile on
competition
the side. Oh god.
and, traffics drugs across the Mexican border.
Yeah.
Yeah, people aren't going to remember the good. They're going to remember you trafficking a bunch of drugs across the border and murdering your competition.
So in Breaking Bad, is the main character a good guy or a bad guy?
He's an awful person.
So he's a bad guy.
Walt
He
is
loses-
an awful person.
Yeah,
Okay.
he loses himself and his motivations to the ambition that he has when making drugs and stuff. And yeah, he's a horrible human being. Bill Cosby, another horrible human being. And no matter how much good he did ish to entertain people, it just goes out the window. But anyways, we're totally off tangent and it's crazy.
It's not off tangent, dude. It's all part of the same thing, dude.
Yeah, this is still code switching, right?
Because
language, right?
Is,
Language, code switching.
language is everything. Because it's also actions, right? Your body language is also something that's important here. It all kind of plays a role into how you perceive other people and how they perceive you. For sure.
And how you perceive yourself.
Damn. I think once I came to the conclusion that I'm a shitty person, I judged myself far less. That was freeing.
What?
All right.
We're all flawed human beings. That's it. I mean,
That's just being a human, man.
I don't think you're shitty
is.
as a
No,
person.
that's how I, because you know how like when I mean, it doesn't even have to be someone you know, but it's just some random stranger, or you hear a story about how so and so stole from another person or they betrayed them, and it's just kind of like, yeah, like humans do that, like, yeah, seems about right. So once I put myself there where I'm just like, you know what, I'm no better than everyone else, is when I felt a lot more free. Yeah. Maybe that's off tangent. Maybe I this is my therapy session now. Guys, I've done some horrible things.
Oh no. It was you all along smuggling all those drugs across the border for the Mexican cartel.
I ain't saying nothing. I played the fifth.
All right, I think
smart. Only talk to a lawyer.
So is this episode at the end about language, about code switching, about personality, about?
We'll
It's
let
about
the
all of it.
listeners decide.
It's about, I don't know. It's about communism.
It was always This was always a communist podcast. That we just started showing our true colors.
I think so.
Mhm.
I think so.
We need a code switch,
Yeah.
comrades.
Look out for our new hammer and sickle logo.
All right. Well, I guess that'll be the end of it. Any last ending thoughts, boys?
English is a jarring language. It makes
Yeah.
it makes your voice naturally deeper for whatever reason.
No,
And
it
it's very
doesn't.
off-putting. Yes, it does. Listen to someone say the same sentence in English and in Spanish, and they will sound like two different people.
Yeah, that's true.
A ver, let's see. Well, give me a sentence.
I don't know. The red.
My name is Edwin.
Yeah. There you go.
Mi nombre es Edwin.
Oh, boo.
Perfect. I told you,
Boo,
dude.
faking.
Boo.
No, that's fake.
Boo.
Mi nombre es Edwin. My name is Edwin.
No, you're just trying hard there.
No, it'd be like,
Hola, me llamo Edwin.
yeah, what the hell? Me llamo
Hola.
Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey.
How do you say tilted not stirred in Spanish?
Oh God, it's so hard to explain this to my
Enfadado.
parents. Oh.
Este fue deladiado y no mezclado.
Idioms don't
Oh,
translate,
wow.
bro.
Yeah, they don't. They really don't. But yeah, that's as close as we're gonna get. Deladiado, pero no mezclado.
Yeah, we didn't really
Tilted
talk too
not
much about the complexities of English, but I think you should, if you're counting your blessings, I think growing up speaking English is a blessing because everyone else has to learn it, and this shit is hard.
You know what's funny? There's that meme that it had like what's that little kid, that little Prince Harry kid or whatever the heck,
Prince
I don't know what
Harry.
you're talking about.
the royal family's baby. How he could speak 2 languages, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's only 3 and he speaks 2 languages." And then it's like every fucking immigrant family ever, you know?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, at this point, I'm more impressed with the third language.
The
Oh,
third
definitely.
language is where, yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
if you start young, and if you're in a setting like Europe, where Europe has so many damn countries next to each other, like
Mhm.
just a couple miles away from each other, then it makes a lot more sense to have the third language. Whereas in America, you speak English. You speak American.
You speak
Yeah.
English, boy.
I speak Patriot, brother.
Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to speak. And then sometimes you grow up being a little bit ashamed that you speak a different language, like Spanish or something. Like
I was
you know.
more ashamed that I didn't speak Spanish.
Hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn, all right. I guess my Spanish ain't that good.
La cara de nopal, but you don't speak Spanish. That's the harsh.
That's some no sabo energy. Oh God. Well, okay. So I guess my ending thoughts.
No, Edwin's dying.
Edwin's dying. Yeah. Don't be a no sabo kid. And probably, since I really wanted to talk about code switching on this episode, probably just measure, like, I guess pay attention to the way that you, I mean, this is all subconscious, right? But just really pay attention to the way that you speak to different people, and then find something out about yourself, maybe. Could
Be
be some
respectful.
introspective.
Just
Yeah.
be respectful at the end of the day with whoever you're speaking to.
That is universal.
Mhm.
Respect.
All right. You can reach us at our website, tiltednotstir.com, where you can find links to our Instagram and Twitter. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Remember to join us to share your questions and voice your thoughts on what has you tilted, not stirred.
Later.